There exists in the mind of every person a vast and unexplored territory, a dominion where the wars of your life are won or lost before the first battle begins. This territory is your inner world, the sum of your thoughts, the seat of your emotions, the forge of your decisions. Here, empires are built or destroyed in silence. Here, in this invisible kingdom, you will either become the master of your destiny or the prisoner of your own uncontrolled impulses. And it is here, before you move a single muscle, before you speak a single word, that success or failure is decided. You must first understand that the average man lives in reaction. His mind is a mirror, reflecting the noise of the world. His heart is a puppet, dancing on the strings of other people's actions. Praise lifts him, criticism destroys him. A shift in circumstance can shatter his focus. He is like a ship without a rudder, tossed and broken by every wave of opinion, every wind of uncertainty. And because he cannot master himself, he cannot master anything else. If you are to rise above the mass, you must strip yourself of this weakness. You must become as the mountain that stands unmoved by storms, the sun that shines through every season, the general who remains calm when the battlefield is chaos. This is emotional detachment, not the coldness of a heart turned to stone, but the discipline of a will that refuses to be enslaved by fleeting feelings. It is the refusal to let a moment's anger sabotage a lifetime's work. It is the power to stand in the fire of adversity and see, with perfect clarity, the next move you must make. Understand this immutable law. If you allow emotions to govern your actions, you forfeit your power. But if you command your thoughts, you command your future. The man who governs himself can govern empires. The man who is governed by his passions cannot even govern his own day. Emotional detachment is the first key to mastery, but it cannot exist without mental discipline. Discipline is not merely the habit of rising early or working hard. It is the habit of ruling your inner state regardless of the outer state. It is the ability to hold your mind on a single purpose until that purpose bends the world to its shape. Most people's thoughts are scattered like leaves in the wind. The disciplined mind is like the arrow that flies unbroken to its target. To build such discipline, you must train the mind as a soldier trains the body through deliberate, repeated effort until endurance becomes natural and precision becomes instinct. You must be the watchman at the gate of your own mind, allowing no thought to enter that does not serve your purpose. You must choose consciously and relentlessly the ideas you will allow to dominate your consciousness. For every dominant thought becomes a command to your subconscious mind, and the subconscious mind will obey without hesitation, whether that command builds your life or destroys it. Napoleon Hill said, "Every adversity carries with it the seed of an equal or greater benefit. The man who focuses on problems feeds them with his attention, and they grow until they dominate his horizon. The man who focuses on solutions starves the problem of power and compels his mind to create the way forward. Your attention is your currency. Spend it on what moves you forward, not on what holds you back. From this day forward, treat every difficulty as a summons to rise higher, not as an excuse to sink lower. The moment a problem presents itself, detach your emotions from it as a surgeon detaches his hand from fear before the operation. Look at it with the eyes of reason, not the clouded vision of anxiety. Ask, what is the next right action? What is within my control? What solution will move me closer to my purpose? Then act without hesitation, without complaint, without waiting for the world to be perfect. The greatest minds in history have shared this in common. They did not dwell on what could not be changed. They acted upon what could. They did not scatter their force in endless worry. They concentrated it like the beam of a focused light. And in that concentration, they achieved miracles that lesser men called impossible. The law of mental neutrality is this: your mind performs best when it is steady, not when it is swayed by highs and lows. When you are neutral, you are not neutral in ambition, you are neutral in reaction. You do not waste energy on anger, on panic, on self-pity. You direct all energy toward intelligent action. This is the calmness that builds fortunes, the stillness that conquers chaos, the inner mastery that makes outer mastery inevitable. You stand now at the threshold where mere desire becomes purpose, where scattered thoughts become a single sharpened spear aimed at the heart of your destiny. To cross this threshold, you must grasp the supreme truth. Mastery over your inner world is the foundation of all outer achievement. Without it, all effort is wasted. With it, all barriers crumble. You must become the sovereign of your own mind, exercising personal initiative with ruthless discipline. Personal initiative is the power to act decisively without waiting for circumstances or others to grant permission. It is the refusal to be a passenger in your own life. To wield it, you must first master the principle of thought first. Every action originates from a thought deliberately nurtured or allowed. What you think is the blueprint of what you build. If your thoughts are chaotic, your life will be chaotic. If your thoughts are disciplined, your life will be disciplined. The secret is this: you are not at the mercy of your environment. You are the architect of your environment. The soil of your mind is rich or barren, depending on what you plant: fear or faith, defeat or determination, complaint or creativity. Decide now to plant the seeds of solutions. Focus relentlessly on how to overcome, how to advance, how to conquer. The mind that is mastered becomes a weapon of infinite power. It does not falter under pressure, but finds pressure to be the forge of its greatest strength. It does not shrink from adversity, but embraces it as the greatest teacher. It does not waste energy on anger, regret, or frustration, because these are shackles that bind the weak. Instead, it invests energy in clarity, calmness, and constructive action. You must understand the difference between response and reaction. Reaction is the instinctive, uncontrolled eruption of emotion, a sudden flash of anger, fear, or despair that blinds reason. Response is the measured, thoughtful action that follows mastery over the initial impulse. The man who reacts loses control. The man who responds commands it. In every moment of crisis, you have a choice: to react or to respond. Choosing response is choosing power. Choosing reaction is surrendering power. This choice is not a one-time event, but a practice, a daily, hourly, moment-to-moment practice that separates the successful from the defeated. Napoleon Hill reminds us that self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. If you do not control what you think, you cannot control what you do. To this, add that mastery of emotion is inseparable from mastery of thought. They are two sides of the same coin. A mind filled with fear cannot be calm. A heart ruled by impulse cannot be steady. Yet a calm mind and steady heart are invincible. Let us now turn to the power of calmness, the engine that drives mental discipline. Calmness is not weakness. It is strength under control. It is the serene fortress that protects your focus from the chaos of the world. It is the wellspring of creativity and clear judgment. When you cultivate calmness, you align your energy. When you lose it, you dissipate your force. Practice calmness by deliberate acts of control. Slow your breath, quiet your thoughts, and command your posture. These physical signs influence the mind as surely as the mind influences the body. The greatest warriors in history have understood this. They prepare their bodies to remain calm so their minds remain sharp. You must do the same with your inner world. Emotional detachment is not the absence of feeling. It is the presence of control. It is the capacity to observe your emotions without being overwhelmed by them, to acknowledge your feelings without allowing them to dictate your actions. This detachment grants you the freedom to act with clarity and power, even in the most turbulent circumstances. Think of a ship navigating a storm. The waves rage and crash, but the captain does not panic. He keeps his eyes on the compass, his hands steady on the wheel. The storm cannot command the ship because the captain commands the ship. So too must you command your inner world. To build this command, cultivate accurate thinking. Accurate thinking is the faculty of seeing things as they are, not as your fears or hopes wish them to be. It is the antidote to delusion and wishful thinking, which are the twin enemies of success. To think accurately, you must be willing to confront uncomfortable truths, to discard assumptions, and to seek evidence with an open mind. When you combine accurate thinking with emotional detachment and mental discipline, you form an unbreakable chain of power. You do not merely endure challenges, you convert them into opportunities. You do not merely react to events, you shape events to your design. Remember, the world does not reward those who complain or blame. It rewards those who solve, who create, who lead. If you focus on problems, you feed them. If you focus on solutions, you starve the problems and empower yourself. The choice is yours, and it is the defining choice of your life. So rise now with clarity. Define your purpose with unmistakable precision. Build your mental discipline daily through vigilance over your thoughts and emotions. Practice calmness in the face of adversity. Detach from reaction and respond with reason. Think accurately and act decisively. This is no idle counsel. It is the blueprint of unstoppable success. It is the path trod by every man and woman who has risen above mediocrity to claim greatness. Your destiny awaits. Will you command your inner world, or will you be commanded by it? Will you focus on solutions, or will you drown in problems? The power is within your grasp. Take it now. You must understand that the mind is not a vessel to be filled, but a fire to be kindled. It requires your conscious effort to keep it burning bright, to prevent the smothering darkness of doubt, fear, and emotional turmoil from snuffing out its flame. Many fail because they allow the flicker of momentary emotion to turn into a wildfire of confusion and despair. They let one moment of anger or discouragement define hours, days, and ultimately years. This is not the way of the victor. The victor guards his mind like a fortress, constantly watching, constantly maintaining, relentlessly purging all distractions and disturbances. The cultivation of mental discipline is not a task for the faint-hearted. It demands vigilance. It requires that you become a sentinel in your own consciousness, ever on guard against the invasion of negative thoughts and impulsive feelings. These invaders are subtle and cunning. They come disguised as excuses, as fleeting doubts, as harmless worries. But once allowed entrance, they multiply, erode your confidence, and dismantle your resolve. Remember, the mind obeys the dominant thought. What occupies your mind daily shapes your actions, your habits, and your destiny. Therefore, be deliberate. Choose your thoughts as a king chooses his advisors wisely, carefully, without compromise. Nourish thoughts of strength, clarity, persistence, and calmness. Starve thoughts of weakness, confusion, and despair. This is the essence of autosuggestion, the powerful principle by which you direct your subconscious mind through repeated, focused affirmations and convictions. The subconscious is a faithful servant, carrying out the commands it receives, whether those commands empower or imprison you. It will not question your orders. It will act on them with absolute obedience. Hence, it is your sacred duty to feed it only with the affirmations of your ultimate purpose, your invincible will, your unwavering resolve. Now consider the distinction between the man who is controlled by circumstances and the man who controls circumstances. The former is a victim, tossed about by the waves of emotion and reaction. The latter is a master, steady at the helm of his inner world, commanding every thought and emotion to serve his purpose. This mastery does not come by accident. It is forged through the conscious application of self-discipline, emotional detachment, and precise, accurate thinking. Let this truth penetrate deeply. Success is not a matter of chance, it is a matter of choice. Every successful individual has made the conscious choice to rise above reaction and embrace control. To do otherwise is to consign oneself to a life of mediocrity, disappointment, and regret. Do not mistake emotional detachment for indifference. It is not the absence of feeling, but the mastery of feeling. It is the power to experience emotions without being enslaved by them. This freedom enables you to act with clarity, to think with precision, and to choose with wisdom. In the arena of human endeavor, the man who reacts emotionally loses the advantage. The man who controls his emotions gains the advantage and thus gains victory. Take, for example, the great generals of history. They did not wage war by the fever of anger or the panic of fear. They waged war with calm calculation, with measured response, with a mind trained to see clearly in the fog of battle. So must you wage your personal battles with a calm mind, a steady heart, and unwavering purpose. In this, the law of cause and effect reigns supreme. Your emotional state causes your actions cause your results. If you sow uncontrolled emotion, you reap chaos. If you sow controlled thought, you reap success. The seed you plant within your mind will grow into the harvest you reap in your life. Furthermore, the power of mental neutrality, the ability to hold your mind steady regardless of external circumstances, is the crown jewel of mastery. When you achieve this, the storms of fortune become but passing clouds. You remain unshaken, unshattered, unafraid. Your energy is conserved, focused, and directed toward your goals. Many fall into the trap of giving their power away to events, people, or opinions. They react impulsively, then regret deeply. But you, who seek mastery, must cultivate the inner pause, the moment between stimulus and response, where you choose your action consciously. This pause is your sanctuary. In it lies your freedom and your power. You must exercise this power daily, moment by moment, until it becomes your nature. Let no provocation, no setback, no criticism steal your calm. Instead, greet every challenge as a test of your discipline, a chance to reaffirm your control. Napoleon Hill's wisdom rings true still. Strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. Your struggle is not against the world, but against the chaos within. Master it, and the world will bend to your will. Fail to master it, and the world will master you. Now hear this final call. Success is not something you wait for, it is something you take. It is not found by lamenting problems, but by creating solutions. The moment you seize control of your inner world, you seize control of your destiny. Rise then with purpose, with discipline, with calmness. Focus on solutions, not problems. Command your thoughts, govern your emotions, and forge your future with unshakable resolve. The power is yours. Claim it now and never relinquish it. To command your inner world is to command your life, for all achievements begin within. You must embrace the solemn truth that the battlefield of success is not fought in boardrooms, streets, or marketplaces alone, but within the mind. Here, the invisible war rages between fear and faith, confusion and clarity, weakness and strength. Victory is granted only to those who learn to wield their thoughts like swords, who cut through distraction and emotional chaos with the sharp edge of reason and resolve. This mastery is not given. It is earned through relentless practice, through the courage to confront your own weaknesses, through the iron will to refuse the easy escape of complaint or excuse. You must cultivate your mental garden daily, pulling weeds of doubt, watering seeds of confidence, and planting ideas of greatness. This is the discipline of the self-made man or woman. When faced with adversity, the untrained mind flails like a ship caught in a storm. It reacts with fear, anger, or despair, each a cruel captain steering it further from its destination. But the disciplined mind is like a lighthouse, steadfast, unmoved, illuminating the path through darkness. It chooses its course and holds fast. It does not waste energy on the uncontrollable, but focuses on the controllable, its own thoughts, emotions, and actions. Understand the law of focus. Energy flows where attention goes. What you dwell upon grows stronger. If you focus on problems, you strengthen problems. If you focus on solutions, you empower solutions. This principle is not mere theory. It is an immutable natural law. Harness it, and you harness the power to shape your reality. To build this focus, you must cultivate the habit of mental neutrality, the ability to remain emotionally balanced regardless of external circumstance. Mental neutrality is not numbness, but a high state of alert calmness. It is the eye of the storm, from which all deliberate, wise action arises. Practice it by observing your thoughts without judgment, by acknowledging emotions without succumbing to them, by returning your attention gently but firmly to your chosen purpose. Emotional detachment is the guardian of mental neutrality. It allows you to see the world with clear eyes, to separate facts from interpretations, to act from principle rather than impulse. In this detachment lies freedom, the freedom from being a slave to every passing feeling, every external event, every opinion. It is the sovereign's robe worn by those who rule themselves first, and through that, the world. No man or woman can stand at the pinnacle of success without this sovereign control. Power, wealth, influence they are but shadows without the light of self-mastery. The world will seek to tempt you with distraction, to shake your confidence with criticism, to cloud your vision with fear. Stand firm, build your inner citadel with the bricks of discipline and mortar of calm. Guard it with vigilance. Remember this. Success demands the sacrifice of immediate gratification for long-term victory. The man who reacts to every irritation, who surrenders to every frustration, who allows emotion to dictate action, is doomed to live a fragmented life full of starts, stops, and regrets. The man who masters himself is a conductor orchestrating a symphony of purpose, persistence, and peace. Harness the power of autosuggestion to reprogram your subconscious mind with the truths that will carry you forward. Repeat to yourself with conviction that you are calm under pressure, that you control your emotions, that you act with clarity and purpose. Let these affirmations sink deep until they become the foundation of your daily actions. Your environment will not always be kind. Your path will not always be smooth, but your mind can remain unshaken. This is the essence of mental discipline, the ability to choose your response, to shape your destiny regardless of circumstance. To those who seek true success, I issue this charge. Do not be distracted by problems. Do not be disheartened by obstacles. Focus on solutions. Train your mind daily to see opportunity where others see only difficulty. Command your emotions to serve your purpose, not sabotage it. Build the habit of calmness and clarity until it becomes your nature. In doing so, you will unlock a power so great that no external force can deter you. Your thoughts will become commands, your emotions will become allies, and your actions will become unstoppable. Rise now and declare to yourself, I am the master of my mind. I am the captain of my soul. I will focus on solutions, not problems. I will build my mental discipline, command my emotions, and take control of my inner world. My success is inevitable because I have seized the one thing no one can take from me, my own mind. Let this declaration be the beginning of your transformation. Walk forward with resolve. The path is yours to shape, the future is yours to command, and the power to achieve greatness lies within you, waiting, ready, and unstoppable. To build mental discipline is to build a fortress of the mind impenetrable to doubt, immune to distraction, impervious to emotional chaos. This fortress is erected stone by stone through the practice of deliberate control over your thoughts and feelings. The weak abandon this task, lulled into complacency by fleeting pleasure or distracted by the siren calls of external approval. But you who aspire to greatness must endure the discipline of constant vigilance. Every moment you spend feeding your mind with confusion, anger, or despair is a moment lost in the war for your destiny. The power to succeed is not granted by circumstance, but seized by those who govern their inner state. You are either the master of your emotions or you are their servant. There is no middle ground. Within you lies the power to command calmness, to direct your thoughts with precision, to silence the noise of chaos and distraction. This power is the foundation of true success. The man who commands his inner world shapes his outer world. The man who surrenders his mind to emotional turmoil becomes a victim of his circumstances. Learn to distinguish between the events that happen to you and the meaning you assign to them. Events are neutral, meaning is created by your mind. This distinction is the gateway to emotional detachment. When you understand that your suffering comes not from events themselves, but from your interpretation of them, you gain the power to change your experience by changing your thinking. Control your thinking, and you control your reality. This is the principle upon which every great achievement rests. It is the cornerstone of self-discipline, the essence of autosuggestion, and the path to mastery over emotion. Take the initiative to redirect your thoughts whenever they drift toward negativity or defeat. Replace complaints with constructive questions. What can I do? What is the solution? How can I turn this challenge into an advantage? This simple shift transforms problems into opportunities and victims into victors. Remember, the mind that is mastered is the mind that wins. It wins not because it avoids hardship, but because it meets hardship with unshakable calm and clear thought. The mind that masters itself is an unbreakable force, bending reality toward its purpose with relentless focus and disciplined action. No external circumstance can rob you of this power unless you permit it. The true battlefield lies within. The war is between your higher self and your baser instincts. Choose the higher self. Choose discipline over impulse, clarity over confusion, action over inaction. The path is not easy, but it is clear. It is the path of all who have achieved greatness, the path of calm, endurance, focused thought, and emotional mastery. Walk it with courage and determination. The world respects only those who master themselves. The world rewards those who act with intelligence, composure, and purpose. The world bends to those who focus on solutions, not problems. Let this be your declaration. I will master my inner world. I will build mental discipline. I will detach emotionally when necessary. I will think accurately. I will act decisively. I will focus on solutions, not problems. I will claim my destiny with unyielding will. The moment you make this declaration, you begin the journey toward unstoppable success. The power is within you. Take it now. You stand now at the crossroads of your future, where the choice is laid bare. Will you surrender to the tyranny of your unmastered emotions, or will you rise as the sovereign of your inner kingdom? To command your inner world is to seize the reins of your destiny, to bend the chaotic forces of life into the chariot that carries you to greatness. This mastery is neither granted by luck nor bestowed by privilege. It is forged in the crucible of relentless self-discipline, unwavering focus, and profound emotional detachment. The essence of emotional detachment is not the absence of feeling, but the presence of control. It is the power to witness your emotions as a dispassionate observer, to acknowledge their existence without allowing them to dictate your actions. Like the great river that flows steadily despite the storms that rage along its banks, your mind must remain serene amidst the turbulence of life. This serene command is the birthplace of clarity, the soil from which effective solutions grow. Mental discipline is the vessel through which this clarity is delivered. It is the daily practice of choosing your thoughts with the precision of a master craftsman, of forging habits that resist the temptation of distraction and defeat. The undisciplined mind is a battlefield strewn with the casualties of wasted energy, where fears and doubts run rampant, unchecked. The disciplined mind, however, is a fortress of resolve, fortified by the principles of accurate thinking, focused attention, and unyielding purpose. Napoleon Hill taught that you are the master of your destiny. You can influence, direct, and control your own environment. You can make your life what you want it to be. This truth stands unchallenged across time. To realize it, you must internalize that your thoughts and emotions are not your masters, but your servants. Command them, and they will propel you. Surrender to them, and they will imprison you. The difference between a life of mediocrity and a life of achievement hinges on this mastery. The man who reacts impulsively to problems becomes their victim. The man who responds with composed reason becomes their conqueror. This distinction, response versus reaction, is the fulcrum upon which your success pivots. To cultivate this response, you must first create the pause, the sacred moment between stimulus and action where your higher self asserts control over base impulses. In this pause lies your power. It is the space where you choose to focus not on problems but on solutions. It is the moment when you refuse to be derailed by emotion and instead harness your mental discipline to find the way forward. The power of this practice cannot be overstated. It transforms chaos into order, confusion into clarity, and defeat into victory. Accurate thinking is the compass that guides this transformation. It demands that you see things as they truly are, not as you wish them to be. It requires honesty, humility, and the courage to discard illusions. When your thinking is accurate, your decisions become precise, your actions become effective, your results become inevitable. Embrace this mental rigor. Challenge every assumption, question every fear, and measure every belief against the standard of truth. This relentless pursuit of accuracy in thought creates a foundation so solid that no external force can shake it. Now, imagine the power that flows from combining emotional detachment, mental discipline, and accurate thinking. It is a power that moves mountains, that breaks chains, that commands the world. It is the power of the unstoppable individual, the individual who has taken control of the one domain no one else can touch, their own mind. This power is within you now. It awaits your claim. The road ahead demands your commitment to focus on solutions, not problems, to build mental discipline through daily practice, to master your emotions with calm resolve, to think accurately with fearless honesty. Do not delay. The clock ticks, the world turns, and your future is shaped by the choices you make this very moment. Will you seize the power within, or will you allow it to slip through your fingers like so many before you? Stand tall. Declare your mastery. Focus your mind. Command your emotions. Take control of your inner world, and you will unlock a success so profound, so unstoppable that nothing can stand in your way. The time is now. The power is yours. Claim it with every fiber of your being and become the master of your destiny. This mastery begins with a simple yet profound principle. Focus on solutions, not problems. Problems are shadows cast by challenges. Solutions are the light that dispels them. The man who fixates on problems feeds their power, drowning in despair and confusion. The man who focuses on solutions starves problems of their influence, lighting a path through darkness with the torch of clarity and action. Emotional detachment is the sovereign virtue in this conquest. It is the capacity to witness life's storms without being swept away, to feel deeply without being controlled, to engage fully without losing command. It is not the absence of passion, but the presence of control, the discipline to choose your response rather than be driven by reaction. You must become the captain of your emotions, steering through turbulence with steady hands and a calm mind. This is not mere theory, but a timeless truth evidenced in every great leader, innovator, and victor who ever lived. Their common thread is the ability to remain unmoved by chaos, to see clearly when others flounder, and to act decisively when others hesitate. Mental discipline is the forge where this calm is tempered. It demands rigorous training, the daily, relentless habit of commanding your thoughts, dismissing distractions, and anchoring your mind in purpose. Without this discipline, even the brightest ambitions falter and fade. With it, mountains bow and rivers change course. Every thought you entertain shapes your actions, every action crafts your destiny. This is the law of cause and effect writ large in your life. To wield this law, you must choose your thoughts with precision. Allow no space for fear, doubt, or complaint. Instead, cultivate thoughts of strength, clarity, and unwavering resolve. Feed your subconscious with affirmations of power and peace, and it will move mountains on your behalf. Understand the critical difference between reaction and response. Reaction is the impulsive, uncontrolled release of emotion, a blind leap into chaos. Response is the deliberate, measured choice of action, a calm assertion of will. Success belongs to the responder. Failure belongs to the reactor. In every crisis, seize the sacred pause, the moment where your higher self overrules your base instincts, where reason guides action, and where your destiny is shaped with intentionality. This pause is your sanctuary and your weapon. Accurate thinking is your compass in this inner battlefield. See the world as it is, stripped of illusions and fantasies. Confront the truth with courage. This is the bedrock upon which all solutions are built. Without it, even the strongest will falters. Focus on solutions, not problems. Master your emotions, discipline your mind, sharpen your thinking, and act decisively. This is the formula for unstoppable success. Your future is forged in this moment. Claim your power. Command your inner world. Become the master of your mind, and you will become the master of your destiny. The time is now. The choice is yours. The victory is inevitable if you choose it. You must grasp this undeniable truth. Your mind is the wellspring from which all power flows. If your mind is polluted by uncontrolled emotions, distracted by doubts, or overwhelmed by worries, your actions will be weak, your vision clouded, and your progress halted. But if your mind is disciplined, serene, and focused on solutions, your actions will be purposeful, your vision clear, and your progress unstoppable. Every great achievement in history, every monumental breakthrough, began with the same starting point, a mind that refused to be captive to problems and instead saw only possibilities. The inventors who changed the world, the leaders who reshaped nations, the artists who redefined beauty, they all mastered the art of focusing on solutions, not problems. This is no coincidence. It is the law of success made manifest. Now, let us confront the enemy that lies within, the emotional reactivity that chains most men and women to mediocrity. This emotional reactivity is the automatic, unexamined reaction to circumstance, anger at insult, fear and uncertainty, despair and failure. It is a prison of momentary feelings that imprison the soul and cripple the will. To break free, you must cultivate the habit of detachment, the noble art of observing your emotions without surrendering to them. Detachment is not disconnection, it is control. It is the profound realization that you are not your emotions. You are the master of your emotions. When you learn this, the storms that once tossed you into chaos become mere gusts of wind against your immovable fortress. Next, build upon detachment the fortress of mental discipline. Discipline is not a trait, but a skill honed through daily, deliberate practice. It is waking each morning determined to command your thoughts, to reject distractions, and to affirm your purpose. It is the relentless exercise of saying no to the fleeting desires and doubts that seek to derail you. Consider the mind as a battlefield where the forces of order and chaos contend. Your duty is to marshal your mental forces, to deploy thoughts of clarity, courage, and resolve. To allow the forces of fear, anger, and doubt to roam freely is to surrender your kingdom. You must become vigilant, the watchman of your own consciousness, rejecting every thought that does not serve your purpose, and embracing those that do. This vigilance is not burdensome, it is liberating, for it frees you from the tyranny of uncontrolled emotion and chaotic thought. Remember always the law of cause and effect. Your dominant thoughts cause your actions cause your results, and your results shape your destiny. To change your destiny, change your thoughts. To change your thoughts, master your mind. The power of autosuggestion is your ally here, a tool by which you impress upon your subconscious mind the image of your highest self. Repeat with conviction the affirmations that embody calmness, strength, focus, and determination until they become your nature. Through this inner alchemy, your subconscious mind begins to work ceaselessly to align your outer life with your inner declarations. It moves you toward your goals with relentless, unseen power. When temptation to despair or distraction arises, recall the timeless wisdom. If you cannot control your mind, you cannot control your life. Stand firm in this truth. Refuse to react impulsively. Choose instead to respond wisely. In the sacred pause between stimulus and action, wield your power. Focus your energy on solutions. When faced with a problem, do not waste time or spirit lamenting its existence. Ask instead, what is the solution? What can I do? How can I move forward? This simple shift in focus transforms mountains into stepping stones. Success belongs to those who master this practice. The world rewards those who rise above emotional chaos, who think clearly and act decisively, who see opportunity where others see obstacles. Your destiny is forged in this moment by the choices you make within. Will you succumb to emotional reactivity and mental chaos? Or will you command your inner world, focus on solutions, and build unstoppable momentum toward your goals? Choose mastery, choose discipline, choose calmness, choose accurate thinking, choose solutions. In this choice lies your freedom, your power, your greatness. Rise now as the master of your mind and architect of your destiny. The path is clear. The power is within you. Take it, use it, become unstoppable. You have commanded your mind to this moment. Now let the final truths be spoken, woven seamlessly into the fabric of your becoming. There is no place for wavering now, no tolerance for retreat. The path of mastery is narrow, demanding, but it leads to heights where few dare to climb. Understand this. The mind, when disciplined, becomes an engine of relentless progress. It burns away doubt like flame consumes dry leaves. It sharpens focus until every action is purposeful, every choice aligned with your highest vision. Mental discipline is the furnace where your greatest potential is forged. Emotional detachment is not a fortress built to isolate you from life, but a shield to protect your clarity amid its storms. It grants you the power to act without hesitation, to decide without confusion, and to persevere without surrender. Through detachment, you reclaim your sovereignty. Accurate thinking is the compass that prevents your journey from wandering into delusion and despair. It demands that you face truths unflinchingly, discard false hopes, and build your plans on solid ground. Without it, even the strongest will falter. With it, the faintest spark can ignite an inferno. In this triumvirate discipline, detachment, and accurate thought lies the key to unstoppable success. You must practice daily the sacred pause, the moment between stimulus and response where your higher self chooses the path. Cultivate it like a master swordsman hones his skill, for in this pause lies your freedom and your power. Let your mind be like the calm ocean, vast, deep, and undisturbed by the passing storm. From this stillness arises your greatest strength. The world may rage, problems may multiply, but your inner peace remains inviolable. Focus your energy relentlessly on solutions. Problems are but shadows. Solutions are the substance. Chase the shadows, and you stumble in darkness. Pursue the substance, and you walk in light. Remember the words of the masters. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Your ideal is within you now, waiting to be realized through your mastery of mind and emotion. Take up this charge with courage and conviction. Build your mental fortress. Wield the sword of emotional detachment. Navigate with the compass of accurate thinking. March forward focused solely on solutions, undeterred by obstacles. Your destiny is forged in these acts of will. Claim your power. Command your inner world. Become unstoppable. Now go forth, not as a victim of circumstance, but as the master of your fate. The path is clear. The power is yours. Your success is inevitable because you have chosen it.